Now, I've got to say, there are some fairly interesting bases on the Hermitcraft server, but Iskal's Plastic Fantastic Island is definitely one of the strangest. It's a completely new approach to Minecraft, and one of my personal favourite builds is, of course, this chap over here, Senor Bumbo Cactoni. Now, he's been standing tall for quite some time now, but I had a thought the other day, and that is the fact that I have no clue what's going on inside this chap. I have no clue what's making him tick. So I've decided to clone him and split him in half so that we can see what's going on. And I gotta say, I am pleasantly surprised. There is a lot of stuff going on inside here. I mean, seriously, I had no clue a cactus could be this complex. So I think we should probably start things off at the top and work our way down. And of course, the first thing that I've got to mention is the sombrero. Now, not only is this a super fashionable item, but it's also incredibly functional. As you can see right here, we have kind of got ourselves a water storage system. Now, of course, cacti are famous for storing water for really long periods of time. Obviously, they have to be able to do that because they live in deserts. If they couldn't do that, then they'd die fairly quickly. And by the look of things, it all happens up in the hat. Nothing is going on in the cactus itself. All of this is happening in the hat. And if we actually take a look and get ourselves a bucket and fill in one of these cauldrons, you can see that it will cycle it around, ready for the next cauldron to be filled up. Now, there is a little hole in the top of the hat here. This is for rainwater because, of course, cauldrons can be filled up with rain. So that's how it actually stores all of its water. It's pretty impressive. Heading just beneath the hat, we have got one of the most distinct features of Bumbo Cactoni, and that is his eyes. Now, you may be able to notice that one of his eyes is slightly offset from the other. Now, the reason for this is because he has superior depth perception. Now, this isn't actually something that I was aware of. I just thought that was an appearance feature of him, but it actually serves a really good purpose. So not only have we got red channel and blue channel 3D, but we also have this slightly tilted depth perception, which gives him superior sight. Now, I don't really know what purpose this serves. I don't know why a cactus needs such good vision of the environment around him. Maybe it's to spy on Iskal, or maybe it's just an extra survival tactic. But whatever it is, it's pretty interesting. The mustache, on the other hand, serves absolutely no purpose whatsoever. It just, let's be honest, it just looks really cool. Heading just behind the sight cortex, we have got this thing. Now, this is Bumbo Cactoni's brain. You can see it's a pretty huge area, and amazingly enough, it's not dedicated to anything but coming up with redstone ideas. Everything else, all the other controls, are just controlled by separate circuits. The brain is entirely dedicated to coming up with new redstone contraptions, which brings me on to a bit of a confession. I have to say, I haven't come up with a redstone idea for probably about a year now. In this entire time, I have just been using Bumbo Cactoni. I mean, to be honest, like when we kick this thing into action, you will see why. Because he comes up with so many redstone ideas. Look, there they are. They're coming out. They come out on both sides. And the interesting thing is these arms. You may notice his arms are angled upwards, a bit like an antenna. That's because they are antennas. They're actually firing out redstone ideas into the world, a bit like Wi-Fi type radio situation. And then I actually have a little receiver just popped in underneath my hair, and while I'm doing about my business, occasionally I'll pick up redstone ideas, and to be honest, they're so good, I can't compete with it. So as I say, for the past year or so, I have been using Bumbo Cactoni's ideas. I hope you don't mind, I hope it doesn't bother you too much, and I hope you still enjoy these redstone videos, even though they've come from a cactus. Anyway, aside from that slight revelation, we can head down just underneath the brain right here and find this thing. Now, this is Bumbo Cactoni's Heart of Gold. As you all know, he's a lovely chap. He means no wrong. He's an all-round friendly guy, and this is clearly proven by the fact that, yeah, he has a physical heart of gold. I mean, how many gold blocks is that? That's an incredibly golden heart. Like, seriously, that's a massively gold heart. But it's not all good. Iskal, if you're watching this, you might want to look away, because secretly, ever since you built this thing, I've had to keep popping into your base and bringing this stuff. You see, Bumbo Cactoni actually lives on a diet of diorite. You have to put it in the mouth hole right there, and it will go through into the system, and you can see here is the diorite digestive system. All of it is coming in, it's all being crunched up. Eventually, once this runs out, then it will travel further along and actually get destroyed by these further bits of diorite here. But this is the only thing that he can eat. He can't eat anything else, it makes him die, which means that, yeah, I've had to do it on the secret because, as we all know, Iskall really doesn't like this stuff. Now, I have to say, things are getting pretty cramped down at the bottom here, but we do have 2 more things going on right at the base of Bumbo Cactoni. Thing number 1 is the mustache replenishment circuit. Now, for those of you who have watched the Hermitcraft series for quite some time, you may remember that I might have lined his mustache with TNT, and it might have blown up, destroying the mustache. Now, this clearly really negatively affected Bumbo Cactoni, and he has now got a mustache replenishment circuit inside him. I don't know how he managed to pull it off, but he seems to have this new thing in here which essentially preserves his mustache in times of need. So if we hit this button, you can see it all kicks into gear, and that mustache there will be transplanted onto the face, ready to be regrown nice and fresh. Now, it's all being kept nice and preserved, nice and warm and everything by these rods here, because of course you don't want your mustache to be too hot or too cold. It needs to be absolutely perfect. But then over to the left, we also have the future Bumbo Cactoni area. Now, what this is doing is it is growing new cacti, and they're popping off into these hoppers. They're making their way down into this dropper here, and they're being pushed downwards into the soil. So this is gradually happening, and these cacti will actually spread out through the soil, and eventually they'll start growing up in all sorts of different locations. So this is like Bumbo Cactoni just secretly spreading his seed, ready to take over the Minecraft world. So we have it, ladies and gents. Those are the innards of Senor Bumbo Cactoni. I hope you enjoyed this super informative, super biological redstone video. If you did enjoy it, please sure to that like button, and if you really loved it, then make sure to subscribe. But thanks for watching, guys. This has been Mumbo, and I'm out. I'll see you later. Oh, and as per usual, check out the latest film on the filming channel. Link will be on the end screen. I'm sure you'll enjoy it.